Welcome back to the channel, everybody. As you know, I'm Chris, and today we got something a little new for you here. New to the channel and new to me. So, the FN Reflex XL MRD. Now, you may have known the other FN Reflex, the micro, or the subcompact. This kind of follows along the lines of, say, the Sig Fuse, a 365 XL, even the Canik MC9 Prime. It's a lot like this size, and it's kind of also comparable to our Shield X. But I did get a chance to take this to the range the other day, so let's do this. Let's head out to the range, check out that footage, and then we'll come back here, break this gun down, and do a tabletop. I'll see you at the range. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Hey, I was just thinking myself, if you ever wanted to help the channel, there's a couple ways you can do that. Now, down in the description below, there's a link to a spot called BuyMeACoffee. Go there, check it out. It's a lot like Patreon. We're gonna do some good stuff on there once we get people on there. Also, if you're interested in saving a little bit, go down to my socials, click on Instagram. On my Instagram page, you'll see Zero Tech Optics and maybe a way you can save you a little bit of dough. There is also a spot for Ammo Squared, which is where I get a lot of my ammo from. And there's also going to be somewhere for Valley Outdoors. So you can check out my boys Zach, Cody, Glenn, Jay, Kristen, and Russ. Go check out their site. And if you're in West Virginia, better yet, go see them and tell them I sent you. So, if you ever want to help the channel, those ways you can do it. Enjoy the rest of the video, guys. White box, just the cheap stuff. 115s. And this is out of the 18 round magazine. Uh-oh. Malfunction. I don't like that. I don't know if this thing, let me go check that. That scared me. I don't want it to be a squib, so I'm gonna pause it, go in the building and just double check, make sure I didn't get a squib, and I'll be right back. Okay, all good. There wasn't a squib, overreacted, I suppose, but better safe than sorry when you think something like that's happened. I think that may have just been a light primer strike with this cheap Winchester ammo. If it keeps happening with this ammo, obviously we're gonna switch up, but we'll just keep that in mind. That was the Winchester white box that we were using. Okay, there was 2 magazines through the FN Reflex XL. So let's go get reloaded and we'll figure out something else to do. It's fun. We'll be right back. All right, we're reloaded. I got a little bit different ammo this time. In the 15 round mag, I have some, well, dual Fiocchi 115s. And in the 18 rounder, I have Arms Core 124. We're just gonna have some fun and shoot around this barricade. Actually, you know what? I might flip you guys around over here so that way you get a better view. right, there's the FN Reflex, just having some fun with that barricade. So far, so good, I really like it. Unfortunately, I just have 2 magazines, so time to go reload some more, and then we'll figure out something else to do. All right, we're back. We got reloaded up here. Had to take the gloves off, guys. It's cold, still about 15 degrees, but I just don't shoot very well with gloves on. Let's get to it. Yeah, that feels much better in my hands with the gloves off. All right, that's some still fun. All right, we are back and loaded up. I have, if I get this magazine out, I got 10 rounds in here. First 5 are the MagTech, the steel, the 115s, and the next 5 are Armscore 124s. Again, unfortunately, that's only 2 bullets I had, 115s and 124s right now. In the future, I'll try to get some other ammo for you. But I'm just gonna take some shots. I'm just gonna put the gun in the frame, and that way you all can check out the recoil. All right, I got a couple more mags loaded up. I literally just poured a bunch of bullets on the table, loaded them up. It's a hodgepodge of Norma, Fiocchi, Winchester, Armscore, just pretty much everything I got. 115s, 124s, there's some steel in there. I'll go over this more at the house, but one thing that I have noticed with this, I mean, the trigger is really, really good and really light, but the way it's made, it is killing my finger right now. I mean, I know maybe I'm just being a whiny little bitch, but after a few rounds, after a few magazines, the way this trigger's shaped and built, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, still a nice gun. Let's finish up here. Flinch master. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the range session. Let's pack up, get the hell out of this cold. Let's go to the basement and we'll have our tabletop. I'll see you back at the house. All right, as you can see from that footage, this thing shoots amazing. So, real quick, let's go ahead and get all the nerdy tech specs done. Like always, my brain doesn't work good enough to remember all this stuff. So I have my notes down here on my computer. So if you see me looking down, I'm just cheating looking off the computer. The FN Reflex, what exactly is it? Well, it's calibered to 9mm. It is not a striker fired. It is an internal hammer fired, single action only, which means single action only, just like striker fires. Can't pull the trigger there. You have to cock the gun. Actually, for YouTube and for everybody at home, gun's empty, no ammo in the room. Bam, okay. Just like a striker fired, except internal hammer. It is in a box, comes with 2 magazines, 15 rounder. and an 18 rounder. Weighs unloaded about 20 ounces. Overall length, 6.75 inches. Has a height of about 5 inches. Width, now this is what I really like here. Look how small that is. The width, only 1.08 inches, so 1 inch in diameter. That is amazing. All right, and like I said, it's a micro compact 9mm. The barrel is a 3.8 inch cold hammer forged stainless steel barrel with a recessed target crown. As you can see that right there. I really like that barrel, it's nice. It has a pull weight of sub 5 pounds. Don't have my pull gauge with me today, but as you can see right there, that is a nice crisp trigger. 5 pounds or under, I 100% agree with that. It is optics ready with the RMSC footprint. That's why I have our Defender CCW on there, which looks really nice. All right, so let's go over features on this gun. Like I said, it is optics ready, RMSC footprint. And that was weird. And it has tritium night sights on there. As you can see there, it's an orange dot, orange tritium, and a blacked out rear. Now with this particular optic, with the Vortex, it barely gets maybe 1/8 of an inch co-witness on there, but Vortex does sit a little high, so we'll take that into consideration. But it does have good iron sights. I shot it a few times before I put the dot on there, and iron sights work great. So it does have good serrations. I wish there were more, but you can see the front there. Nice serrations on the front for your press checks or to load the gun. They are on both sides, as you would expect. Unfortunately, it does not come on top, but you can see good nonetheless. The rears, just about the same. Now, I wish the amount that was here would have been here. That would be great. But again, they both work great. Front for your press checks, it's grippy enough to grab a hold, but it's not too aggressive to where it's going to rip you apart. Same thing with the back. You can just grab it and just go to town with it. Frame. It is a polymer frame. One thing I will say, I put the large back strap on because I got big old bear paws. It does come with two. It comes with a small and a large, I believe. I could be wrong there. I'll double check and I'll put it somewhere in here just to make sure. And does come with, again, like I said, interchangeable back straps. I have the largest one on there. The texturing I absolutely love. It goes all the way up. That's one of the major complaints you always hear me complain about, is the texture never goes all the way up. The sides are aggressive and they really grab hold. But my favorite, all right, let me get my big head out of the way here. The front and the rear is where it really shines. It's 3 times more aggressive in the front and the back strap. But like you hear me say before, that's where you want it, because that's where your grip gets the pressure, the front and the back for the most part, and you want that to dig in to help reduce that muzzle flip on there. Now, unfortunately for you wrong-handed people, nothing about this gun is ambidextrous. The slide release, setup, slide lock, slide release, whichever one of you YouTube Nazis want to call it, is only set up for a right-handed shooter. It is not on the right side. Mag release is interchangeable. You can swap it. And with the size of this grip, it's not massive, but it's just small enough to where, of course, I got big hands, but I think even you small-handed people wouldn't have too much of a problem finding that stuff right there. Slide release, slide lock, slide release is easy to find, and the mag release is very easy to grab too. And the mag well is not flared whatsoever. It is just there. It does have a little cutout lip on the back, There you go. But even with that, it's not difficult to get your mag changes in. You can get those in just fine. And for a compact carry gun, again, the grip on this is perfect for me. Even with the flush fit 15 round magazine, I still have plenty of room. So then you add on that 18 round magazine, you can go to town with it. I like both of these magazines in this gun very well, and I like this gun really well. The takedown is a little bit different. It looks, if you see it right there, it kind of reminds you of like a SIG or a Springfield takedown where you slide it down. No, this one, you gotta lock the slide to the back, and this takedown lever, you have to flip it up over the frame to get it down. And then once you get this takedown lever flipped all the way up, just past 90, well, I'll show you. I'm not gonna take it apart, I'm just gonna show you where you gotta take it. As you can see there, we are just a shade past 90 degrees. Once you get it in that position, then you can let the slide down and the barrel comes off. So it does have a single slot rail right there. That is, if you get a light for it, the TLR 7 sub, like what's on the Shield X, the standard sub will not fit. You have to find one that's made for the Glock 43X MOS rail. That's the same rail length and everything as the Glock 43 MOS. So it is compatible. I'm looking at my notes again. It is compatible with the Surefire XSC, and like I said, the TLR 7 sub. But again, make sure if you get it, you get the one that's made for the Glock 43X MOS. So let's get to the fun part of this gun. Let's get to this trigger. This trigger, it's got one or two cons to it, but most of them are good. So let's let you take a look at this trigger here. It does have some take up, not a much. Bam. When I say no creep, I don't feel any creep in there, and I don't see any. Let's get a good focus in here again. Reset, break. I'm telling you, that is what a trigger should feel like. Zero creep, zero mush. Well, okay, I'm glad that happened. Internal hammer-fired trigger. I'm gonna use the Shield X for an example. With this, you can half pull the slide back and the trigger works. With this one, you have to go all the way to the rear to engage that trigger. So I'm glad that happened because I totally forgot about that. But again, that trigger, you all tell me what you think about that creep, whether there's any creep in that or not. Bam, solid, 100% love the trigger. Now, one of my cons on the trigger is after firing it for a while the other day, my poor finger started hurting. Now, I don't know how well you can see that trigger, but it is kind of blocky in there. And it's the polymer that it's made of is really, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a big baby, but after about 200, 250, maybe even 300 rounds, it started irritating my finger. I don't want to say like a Glock trigger does, because a Glock trigger pinches. This was just uncomfortable. If that makes any sense, it probably doesn't. But the FN Reflex shoots 10 times better than the Shield X. It's more controllable. I think maybe because the grip might be just a tad longer. No, not really. But I don't know, maybe it's the grip. Maybe I like the grip better, the texture where it's all over the gun. And maybe I'm just being a little biased. Maybe I just like this FN a little bit better. But again, I think it shoots better. The trigger is better. Like here's the Shield X. Again, not bad. not bad. It's actually a great trigger, but the FN just feels so much better. And the reset, again, crisp, clean, tactile, amazing. I think that's awesome. Now, I did have one malfunction while I was at the range. And that was when I first started. You probably saw, I thought it was a squib. Well, I wasn't sure. I was shooting and I couldn't remember when I pulled the trigger again and it didn't do anything. I thought I heard something, but I wasn't sure. And when I racked that round out, I couldn't find it at first. Ended up being a light strike. So in my head, I was thinking I was just missed something, and I was afraid, again, I didn't want to take any chances because it was a cheap Winchester white box ammo. So went back, checked it. It obviously wasn't a squib. When I came back outside, I looked down and saw that round that was in there, and it was just a light strike. Now, once I changed from that Winchester ammo, I didn't have any other issues with this gun. So again, I'm going to chalk that one up to the Winchester white box ammo, not the gun. Tell me what you all think down below if you think it was the gun or the cheap Winchester white box. I'm curious what you think. So let's go ahead and wrap this up because I know it's been a long-winded video. And looking at the time, it is 1:15 on Saturday, the 24th, and we have a snowpocalypse heading right to West Virginia. This time tomorrow, I'm liable to be under a foot of snow and about an inch of ice. So let's hope that doesn't happen. Anyway, what do I think about the FN Reflex XL MRD? It's a lot of words, guys. I wish when they make these guns, just make it a quick, simple name. Anyway, what do I think about it? I love it. It is, for the size, it's soft shooting. It is flat shooting. The dot very rarely leaves the window. Only time it does is when I've screwed up and my grip was all jacked up. But when I have a good grip on this thing and I'm locked in on it, that dot doesn't leave. Up, down, up, down. It shoots phenomenal. Trigger, top notch. Again, one last time for the road. Oh, that makes me smile. Reset, even better. So, out of 10, what do I think about this gun? 8. It's a solid 8. I've only got about maybe 300 rounds through it. So that could change, that could go up, could go down. I'll let you know in the future. Speaking of future, let me know if you want to see more of this gun, if you want to see what I think about it after about 1,000 rounds. I'm going to do it regardless. It's up to you whether you want to see it or not. So, like always, like, comment, that little bell right there, click that little bell so you get notifications when my videos drop. And if you want, share it. If you do all those things, it helps the algorithm to push this 2A content out to everybody. And that's what we want. We want people to watch this stuff. And don't just do that stuff for my videos. Like, comment, share, subscribe to everybody's videos that you watch. Well, maybe not everybody, if you like them. So, I'm Chris, and until next time, I'll see you gun-toting 211 fools on the range. Be safe.